Hey guys, Block Squad 1000 here, and welcome back to some more of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In the last episode, we arrived here in the region of Akkala, this beautiful region, which is my favorite in the entire game. And in this episode, we're going to explore it quite a bit. I'm going to put on some more fitting gear, because we're not in Death Mountain anymore, so we don't need this gear. So I'm going to put on my champion's tunic. Now, exactly where we should go, I don't really know, but we got our horse here, so let's just ride our horse in some random direction. There's a couple shrines we can see. Our destination for this episode is to make it over towards the area, the very northeast corner of the map. So we'll hopefully get there by the end of the episode. Oh, it's raining. Just like in real life, because it's raining outside at the moment that I'm recording this. How fitting. Okay. We're gonna go along here and trying to figure out where some shrines are. I think because there's that one right there, but there's a couple of ore deposits right here. Why don't we bust those open? Use our hammer so we don't waste anything too valuable. Okay. Rock salt. Okay. It's getting a bit hard to see because if it's oh right, down here. We should go check this out. There's a fairy fountain. Might be worth our time to go and open that up. Because we only have that one fairy fountain in Kakariko Village. Might want to upgrade our armor a little bit. Let's grab these fairies. I'll grab that last one as well. Okay, it doesn't hurt to have them. We can cook some fairy tonics at some point. Alright. Boy, sweet boy, please listen to my story. I am the great fairy Mija. This place was once a beautiful spring, but as time passed, fewer and fewer travelers arrived to offer me rupees. As a result, my power has abandoned me. I'm nearly powerless now, so I beg your help. I need rupees to become whole again. All I need is 500 rupees. Alright, why don't we give those, because we have quite enough. Thank you, you are too kind. Ah, the power. It's overflowing. Okay. Here we have another great fairy, who will upgrade our stuff for us. Trying to figure out which armor I should upgrade, because it has been a little while. I think, because I mentioned this before, but the way that great fairies work is, if you only have one great fairy, then you can only upgrade your armor once, but then when you unlock your second great fairy, you can upgrade them to level 2. Once you have all 4 of the great fairies, then you can upgrade your armor to the maximum, so it's kind of a nice little way to keep a sense of progression going. So you're the one who released me. I was expecting someone bigger, I guess. But a slim little lad like you will do just fine, yes. Thanks to you, my power has been returned to me. And I think you'll agree a good deed deserves a good reward. I can enhance your clothing, but I require the necessary materials to do it. With the power available to me, I can enhance your clothing a fair amount. Enhance away! Okay, let's pick some good stuff. Might as well just do, we need shards of Ferocious Horn if we want to upgrade our Champion's Tunic. I'm planning by the end of this Let's Play to have my Champion's Tunic up to maximum level at least. So let's upgrade the Hylian armor. Or not really armor, it's just clothing because, you know, there's no like armor in it or anything. Okay, there we go, level 2. Now we have 8 defense. As you've noticed, each upgrade has a different animation, so that's pretty cool. Nice little detail there. Must be really cold because it's raining and she's just there. She should probably put something warm on. Okay. One moment. There we go, and I'm trying to figure out if I should upgrade anything else. Because I don't really, in all honesty, I think that you can get really overpowered if you abuse this too much. So I think I'm not gonna upgrade too much of my armor. Soldier's helm. Yeah, why don't we upgrade... Why don't we upgrade the snow quill stuff? That's probably a good idea. Because then we'll have a bit more defense when we go into cold areas. Okay, enhance away. And then once we've done this, I think we'll stop. We can upgrade more later on, I guess. Okay. So once we have this, we'll have 15 defense instead of 9. That's a good upgrade right there. There we go. Mission accomplished. Alright. See you later. It seems like a few of my sisters haven't yet recovered their power. Once they have their power back, I can make your clothes even stronger. That's a sentence you don't hear every day. Goodbye. Okay. We will keep that in mind. We will make our clothes the strongest they can be. Okay, let's get all these armoranths. And some endura carrots, that's cool. That's everything we can do around here. It's a shame that it's raining right now inside the game because I really, really want to show off just how beautiful this area is, and unfortunately, it's a bit hard to do that when you can barely even see 2 feet in front of you. I mean, that's kind of an exaggeration, but still, you can't really see the gorgeous shots quite as well when it's raining because it's all foggy and stuff. Okay, oh, down here. Here's Kilton, the guy who we met at Skull Lake. This is the guy who runs Fang and Bone, the monster shop. Why don't we give him a visit? Oh! Oh, it's just you. You startled me. My monster shop is now open for business. Seeing as how you're a first-time customer here at Fang and Bone, our first order of business will be converting your monster parts to Mon. What is Mon? Mon is a currency I invented to destabilize the market and fight the establishment. Just kidding, there is no establishment in Hyrule. I just love monsters so much that I turn them into money. Here's the deal. If you bring me monster parts, I'll exchange them for Mon. I'm the only business in Hyrule that accepts Mon as payment. Pretty exclusive, eh? Anyway, you can spend your Mon on various types of monster gear that I've created based on my research. Another thing. I'm always developing new monster gear, so remember to check back in between your adventures. So let's exchange the monster parts you have for Mon. Okay. So this is probably one of the most useful things with monster parts, because I don't really make elixirs all that often. But here, if you have way too many monster parts, which I tend to have, this is a great way to spend them. So I'm not going to spend things like giant ancient cores, but I will spend a bunch of my screws from the Guardians. It's weird that these count as monster parts because they're machinery, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Why don't we also sell some of the springs? Let's sell 20 of them, maybe. Probably a good amount. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, okay, 20. Right there. Yes. Okay, that's 100. What else should we sell? Why don't we sell 2 of Hinox's guts? That's 120. Don't really... Okay, so... Let's sell a bunch of Bokoblin fangs. Let's sell like 40 of those, maybe. Yeah, this is a good way to get rid of like a lot of excess stuff. It's a nice little addition to the game. Anyway, so thank you for converting your monster parts into Mon. Now then, how can Fang and Bone help meet your monstrous needs today? Let's spend some Mon. Da-da-da! It's been a while, but I've developed a new piece of monster gear. I call it the Lizalfos mask. Those Lizalfos can really be a pain to deal with when you're injured. Just when you think they're sleeping, they attack you without a moment's notice. Some of those scaled sneaks can even use camouflage to blend into their surroundings. But if you wear this Lizalfos mask, they will think you're one of them and they'll ignore you. Your current balance is 500 Mon. What monster gear would you like to buy? Okay, so there's a bunch of things you can buy here. You can buy Monster Extract, which is an ingredient, and it can be used for a couple of different really good ingredients, actually. You can buy a wooden mop for some reason. You can buy a spring-loaded hammer, which is probably one of the most fun weapons in the entire game. It doesn't do like any damage at all, but it sends enemies flying if you hit them with it, so it's a great way to like just completely destroy enemies. You can just send them flying off cliffs and then it'll kill them. I think this is the only store in the entire game that actually sells weapons, which is kind of interesting. Some people find that to be a bit of a missed opportunity because, you know, it would have been cool to be able to purchase weapons, but you know what? I think, because I want to try to buy most of the stuff that this guy sells throughout the game because it is quite worth it. But I think for now, I will buy the masks that he sells. We're going to play a little bit of Majora's Mask here. I kind of like to, like, just when you thought that this guy wasn't straight at a Majora's Mask enough, he even sells masks himself. So, I hope to see you again another monstrous night. Seriously, this guy just has to be some sort of reference to Majora's Mask, because not only does he look like a character straight out of that game, everything about him, from his store to the stuff he sells to, like, I don't know, just his demeanor, it's all just very Majora's Mask-like. Okay. So those masks he sells lets you blend into enemies for a little while, so you can just kind of sneak up to them wearing the mask and they'll mistake you for them. I don't know how they do because you look nothing like them, but hey, monsters are stupid, so I guess it doesn't really need a lot of questioning. But yeah, it's a cool little thing you can do. He sells masks for all the monsters, including Lionel's. However, fairly to be fair, the Lionel mask isn't very useful because Lionels are obviously some of the strongest, most intelligent enemies in the game, and they will always be able to tell that you're them. But it will fool them for about like 5 seconds, but they will they will notice that you are Link after a little while. So our horse won't come to us because it's too far away, so we're gonna go and just, since it's raining, it should be easy to just slide down the hill here. There we go. I always love it whenever you can get a nice little shield surfing going. So the Master Sword has been repaired by now. I guess we can take it out, but I don't know. I kind of want to save it for when we fight things that will require the Master Sword. But we can hold on to it for now. Just gotta make sure it doesn't run out of any durability. Okay. That actually scared the hell out of me. I didn't really expect that. Yeah, that was Daruk letting us know that Daruk's protection is now ready. So we have 3 more charges of that. So if we're in danger, we can use that. Oh god! Speaking of danger. Screw those guys. The sun's rising, so they shouldn't be too much of a threat for much longer. Ouch! Jerk. Where is the stable? Because there's a stable around here. There's Skull Lake over there. Oh! Okay. Can you piss off? There's too many skeletons everywhere. There we go. And there's also some fire keys right there. Okay, everybody's gone. We can just run. But I kind of want to pick up their wings. Okay. So, where is that stable? Is it, ouch. Oh boy, we just got rickety wrecked right there. You can sell your ore for a high price. If you find ore deposits while traveling, I suggest you get into the habit of mining them. Yes, I think we knew that by now. There's one thing I want to check, actually. I want to check what the next... Okay. That's the next memory we gotta try to find. And I know where that is. It's just kind of far away, so I guess we won't get it for a little while. Where is the stable? It's up this hill. We just gotta keep following this path and we should find it. I mean... Yeah, okay, it's very close. Because that's the next shrine I want to get. Admittedly, I expected to run into a shrine by now, but we haven't. Which is kind of sad, because not getting quite as much progress done as I hoped to get. We would be getting this done a lot faster if I had brought my horse along, but unfortunately I abandoned him along the path. But now that we're at the shrine here, now that we're at the stable here, we can get him back, because somehow they can just magically teleport horses towards you. I really don't get how it works, but I'm not really complaining, because it's convenient. Let's do the shrine first, and then we can figure out what to do at the stable. Here we go. This is the Katosa Og Shrine. Let's go in. Alright. Let's check out... I don't really remember what this shrine... Oh! Actually, now that I think about it, I do know which shrine this is, and it's actually a pretty good one. To you sets foot in the shrine, I am Katosa Og. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. Now, this is another apparatus shrine, so get ready for our motion control garbage, but I actually really like this one compared to most motion control shrines. You gotta, like, get the momentum just right with the hammer so that you don't send the ball overshotting. So yeah, you don't want to overshot the ball, you just gotta get it just right. Where did it go? Oh, I see, you gotta, like, reset it. So we're gonna, like, lightly tap it. I don't know, I think we want to get, like, that much momentum or something. Is that gonna make it? I don't think it is. Oh, it did make it. Nice. That's nice. It's always fun when you don't have to stress about it too much. Oh, wait a second. Did I screw it up? Oh, I knew I shouldn't have exited the thing. Oh, boy. That's why. I was like, why isn't it doing it? We have to wait for it to actually go into the hole before we actually exit the... That's a little bit dumb, actually, but... Okay. We solved it. Let's go and get on that platform. I wonder where the chest is, because we haven't found one yet. I think it's... This is one of the shrines that has more behind the monk. I always kind of like it whenever they have that. It's like an optional challenge you can do, which gives you a good reward. This one's pretty tough, actually. You gotta get it like that angle. Can we make it? And we did it! Nice. Ooh, almost overshot it. Just barely. Okay. And this will take us over there. So yeah, compared to most apparatus shrines, which I kind of don't like, this one's pretty fun. I don't know. I feel like the game would have been better off without the apparatus shrines because they're pretty annoying. Let's see, what do we get rid of? We have too many frost blades. Let's just drop a frost blade and replace it with another frost blade. Maybe we should use one of those at some point. Okay. Let's head over here, talk to the monk, and get going. Hey there. Give me a spirit orb. Solved your puzzle, man. Yada yada, skip that. How many spirit orbs do we have? 5, okay. Okay, let's go and check out this stable. There's one particular reason I love the stable, and that's what Beetle says when you talk to him here. Yeah. Hey, friend. Oh, I knew I'd see you again. I think that technically makes you my stalker. But seriously, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop following me around. Who am I kidding? I love the attention. What are you looking for? Or are you selling? Let's see now. Yeah, I really love how Beetle just kind of gets mad. I've always kind of loved that thing about Beetle is that he's kind of just this really bizarre character who kind of is very passive-aggressive despite having a very friendly demeanor to him. He's always like that, even in some of his older games. I also love how whenever you, like, in Wind Waker, if you leave a store without buying anything, he just looks really sad. It's pretty funny. Oh, actually, I wanted to go back and buy some arrows from him. I don't know why I left so fast. Okay. Let us buy a bunch of arrows, because we are in desperate need of those. And actually, I know that this is totally unnecessary, but I want to buy some smotherwing butterflies. Oh, I already own one, actually. Yeah. I was thinking, I didn't really know that, because those are pretty rare insects, so that'd be kind of worth it to buy one from him, just in case you don't have one, because it's nice to fill up your collection. Let's talk to this guy. Good evening. I've been on patrol duty lately. The name's Hawes. Jeez, it's gotten dangerous around here lately. It has. Yes. Recently I've been hearing about a suspicious guy named Kilton. We just saw that guy. He runs a shop called Fang and Bone. They say he goes around pushing some kind of cart night after night. He's been making people around here uncomfortable with his suspicious and otherworldly activity. Do you know Kilton? Yes I do. What? You've heard something? Well, if you know any suspicious people, please tell me what they look like in detail. Really, if you see this Kilton character, please tell me all the juicy details. I'm counting on you. Well, I should have remembered about this side quest, actually. You gotta take a picture of Kilton if you want to complete the side quest, but I forgot to do that. So that kinda sucks. One last thing I want to do before we move on, though. There is this dog right here. I want to give him some meat so we can dig up a chest for us. Why don't we give him 3 steaks? It's a lot of steak for a dog to eat, but hey, he's a good boy. Alright. Gonna eat another one. Or is he? He's gonna just awkwardly move around in circles so we can get the other one. There we go. Eat the last one. I love how he jumps up in the air when he sees the steak. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited!" All right, I think we gotta give him a couple more if we want him to dig up the chest for us.
Rivali's gale is now ready.
Yes, Ravioli's gale is now ready. Okay, is that all? Okay, yeah, he's gonna go dig up the chest for us now. Just gotta follow him around. He's gonna do a little strut. God, they better add the option to pet dogs in the sequel. If they don't, I think there's gonna be a riot. Okay, are you gonna dig it up? Or is there actually no chest here? Oh, wait a second, I see. Oh, right, yeah, you have to actually dig it up yourself. For some reason I thought that he dug it up, but he just shows you where it is. Okay. That is shock arrows. Those'll come in handy. Alright, finally, now that that's all out of the way, why don't we go get our horse and then go up towards the place I want to head towards. Go over here. Welcome, welcome. Let's get our horse. Okay. Let's do this. There you go. Got our horse. Away, useless. Oh, man. I still feel so bad that I named this horse Useless. I just didn't expect to have him for this long. You know, like I expected to just use him as like my starter horse who wouldn't really be... I wouldn't really use him for very long, and so I just named him Useless, but I still have him. At some point I will get a new horse though, one who's a little bit better. I keep saying that over and over again instead of just doing it, but I promise I will do it at some point. Oh, there is a guardian right there. Let us just run past this guy. I don't really want to screw with him. Useless. Don't get shot. There we go. And we have made it to the Akkala Ancient Tech Lab. Let's go inside. This place is some of the absolute funkiest music ever. Who's this? It's... Hey you, what are you doing here? Who are you? You got some weird goggles, man. Are you the one called Link? Yes. That's too bad. If you were the legendary Link, there would be something important I need to tell you. But how can I determine with full certainty whether or not you are the true hero? Yes, how indeed? Yes. If you can show me the wounds your body suffered 100 years ago, that should prove that you are truly Link. Alright. We just gotta take our clothes off, I guess. Whatever you want, old man, I guess. Okay. Just the number of scars on your body. Just as I remember. Most seem to have healed, but they do line up with the scars I know that you got during the Great Calamity 100 years ago. Yes, I acknowledge you as the real Link. So let us begin again. I am the lead guardian researcher and director of the Akkala Ancient Tech Lab. Dr. Robbie! He even got a little guitar riff. He somehow has guitars, even though this is Hyrule. Then again, there are giant robots and stuff like that, so it really isn't that out of the question. In any case, I really am impressed that you made it all the way out to this rather remote location. Did you perchance meet Pura and borrow her power? Oh, well, yes, we know Pura. I met a child. Pura, a child. What? She really has a kid? Or do you mean that Pura aged backward, and she is now a child? Pura got younger. Are you certain? So she's as crazy as ever. Okie doke. Knowing her, I'm guessing she's screwed up some experiment. Yes, typical. Let's return to the subject at hand, Did you know that the Calamity is regaining its power? Oh, you don't say. I mean, I know. I see. Then I don't need to tell you my story, Tell me. Yes, I see. In that case, the goal of our Sheikah research lab is simple, really. We aim to destroy the Calamity that has endured across time, to rid Hyrule of its dark influence, and above all, to rescue Princess Zelda, who is now a prisoner of the Calamity. We have worked ourselves to the bone conducting our research. For a time I feared I'd pass before we could prevail. However, you, Link, managed to awaken before this old sack of flesh gave out. That means the time is now. Yes, yes. Now is the time to join forces with us, Sheikah, yes. We must destroy the Calamity. Let's do it. Yes, that is correct. You and I are going to join forces and put an end to this Calamity. And on that note, sorry for the long preamble, but I'd like to provide you with some ancient soldier gear. Did you catch all that? Cherry, the ancient oven, creates ancient soldier gear, but I fear she's out of sorts at the moment. I'm afraid someone will have to bring the blue flame from the ancient furnace again. Alright, we got another little quest we gotta do to relight the fire. But, I don't really think we'll have time to do that right now, so instead, I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna read this little book right here. This little journal that Robbie has. Robbie's Memoirs. This is a cool little book you should read if you want to get some context for some stuff. Let me start from the beginning. It was 100 years ago. Calamity Ganon had already swallowed Princess Zelda. Dr. Pura and I had already taken Link to the Shrine of Resurrection and left him to recover. Dr. Pura and I had departed for Kakariko Village, where we left Lady Impa. All three of us couldn't stay together, of course. We couldn't risk Calamity Ganon getting all of us in one strike. And if that happened, there'd be no one left to deliver Princess Zelda's message to Link when he recovered and woke up. We had to ensure at least one of us would be able to talk to him. So Dr. Pura and I set out to survive as long as we could. We were lucky. We found large amounts of ancient energy in the Nakluda and Akkala regions. We could continue our research. Just as we had in Hyrule Castle, we could again set ourselves to finding some way to seal Calamity Ganon away. We decided we could go where we decided who would go where and in the only fair way. Rock, paper, scissors. I set out to Akkala soon after. I was all set to go to Akkala, but first I decided to go with Dr. Pura to find the ancient energy source in Nakluda. Actually, that implies I had any choice. Dr. Pura laid on a pretty heavy guilt trip when I suggested her going alone. In a world as dangerous as ours, are you seriously asking me to travel alone? She's so darn pushy. Anyway, Dr. Pura promised Lady Impa that they'd met again someday. Then she and I set out from Kakariko Village. But not before loading a cart with the guidance stone Dr. Pura had been using at Hyrule Castle. Next page. We traveled for some time, south of the Pillars of Levia, across Lake Celia, and through Blatchery Plain. Then we came upon Fort Hateno. Link had battled an army of guardians there, and it was where he had been defeated. A master swordsman such as Link, who'd impressed King Rom enough to be made Princess Zelda's personal knight. Well, even someone like that has their limits. I'm sorry, Link. I spent so much of my time researching the Guardians. Even with all my knowledge, I wasn't able to give you the weapons or power you needed to succeed. Those were my thoughts as I looked upon the broken husks of the Guardians strewn about Fort Ateno. Next page. Lost in my thoughts, I didn't notice that Dr. Pura had slipped away. I knew Hateno Village wasn't much further along the road, and that the Calamity had barely touched that area. So I felt safe letting her continue on her own. We parted ways without even saying goodbye, I suppose. Stirring myself back to action, I set out on my own journey back toward Kakariko Village. With Dr. Pura escorted safely to Hateno Village, it was time for me to head to my new home in Akkala. I returned to Kakariko Village to collect the remaining guidance stone, then I immediately set out for Akkala. I made my way through the Nehru wetlands and headed towards Turnio Trail. I knew that once I crossed the Akkala span, I would officially be in Akkala. The autumn leaves brought some joy to my spirit as I crossed Shadow Pass, then headed north from Ordorak Quarry. Akkala is known for its long stretches of nothing. I set out hoping that would still be the case. I was attacked by a guardian here and there as I went, but remember, I'd spent my life studying them. Dispatching them individually was no challenge at all. In time, I reached the lighthouse in Akkala. What a perfect place to keep an eye on the monsters out there. I unloaded my guidance stone and settled into my new home. And so began my life of solitary research. I knew I had to continue to research the ancient soldier gear for Link. He could wake at any time. I quickly settled in on a routine. First I would carry the blue flame from Tumlea Heights. Next I would melt the ancient materials, refine the result, and then shape it into ancient soldier gear. It's difficult to say how much progress I made in my research. The routine demanded so much focus day after day. But then I had a clever thought. I realized I could automate the entire refinement process. It took some significant work, but I was able to successfully remodel the guidance stone. Thanks to my effort, I can refine any ancient material inserted into it and offer something in return. I named this machine Cherry, after the first girl I ever loved. My research didn't end with the creation of Cherry, not at all. I realized that if she was able to refine the ancient materials, there was no reason she couldn't also manufacture ancient soldier gear too. Anyone could make ancient equipment. I also decided that I wanted to be able to give her a voice so she could speak. I was filled with ambition there, but it was no easy task to make my dreams a reality. Automating the manufacturing process was extremely difficult. It took me decades to figure it out. I'll spare you the details of all the things that went wrong, but I will say it was complex enough that I had to put my desires to remodel Cherry on the back burner for a while. Days and months came and went before I even realized it had reached the ripe age of 90. I would have been lost in my work even then, but around that time a young woman named Jaren arrived. She had first trained with Dr. Pura, then Lady Impa had sent her to aid me. She quickly proved herself quite capable. She carried the blue flame from Tumlea Heights and even reworked and improved my designs for Cherry. The very fact that she had trekked all the way from Kakariko Village alone proved she was no ordinary girl. Her intellect, her spirit. In hindsight, is it any surprise that we eventually ended up married? Thanks to Jaren's redesign, Cherry was soon crafting ancient soldier gear perfectly and speaking beautifully. She spoke better than any machine I'd ever heard. It would have been hard for her to tell she wasn't native Hylian. If I said good morning, she'd respond with a sweet good morning, Robbie. And she was helpful. Cherry, where'd I leave my book? It's the third book from the right on the second shelf, Robbie. She also knew to ask if she needed something. Robbie, could you increase the furnace heat a little? I'd always go personally to fetch more blue flame from Tumlea Heights. I didn't realize her interactions hurt someone. That someone was Jaren. Perhaps it was due to her namesake, but my exchanges with Cherry hurt Jaren. Love triangle, I see. Despite the fact that she knew Cherry was only a machine, she still felt uneasy with my interactions with her. She was in tears when she told me. She knew it made little sense, and yet she couldn't help how she felt. I was devastated. I hadn't even proved the pain I was causing. Although Jaren had designed Cherry, she was now being hurt by my own creation. We agreed to restore Cherry to her original mechanical way of speaking. I took it upon myself to make the changes. From then on, I was careful to not refer to her as Cherry. Doing so would anger my wife. Instead, I called her Ancient Oven. Sometime later, Jaren gave birth to a baby boy, a beautiful young one who bore all the features of his mother. We decided to name him Grante, and together we passed the time as a happy family at Akkala Ancient Tech Lab. It was unfortunately only a temporary peace. Princess Zelda did her best to contain Calamity Ganon. Around the time Grante turned 3, a letter from Dr. Pura arrived. It was a shock to receive it. The last time she'd written, it was to talk about an assistant from Kakariko Village, whom she felt was useless. She was writing now to let me know she'd completed research on powering up the runes like stasis. Hearing this reinvigorated my interest in researching ancient soldier gear. Grante grew fast, and it wasn't long before he towered over me. He loved to carry blue flame from Tumlea Heights, called it a chance to train his body. I could see the curiosity in his eyes, and so I encouraged him to travel the world and see as much as he could. He had always been independent, but I was still surprised when, the very day I told him to travel, he left. Writing about Grante's training reminds me. A few days before he left, I thought it might be a good idea to have Grante study with Dr. Pura. I wrote to her to ask of what she thought of such an idea, and she sent a letter that simply said, "Don't send anyone here." I wonder what happened to her to make her say such a thing. Well, we know that. Alright, that's the end of that journal. That was a very lengthy little tome of lore, but now we have some context about who Robbie is, and, well, we know quite a bit about the Sheikah and their research. Well, we also know that he feels guilty about the fact that he couldn't, he feels guilty about the fact that we couldn't win against the Guardians that day. So that's the reason he's so dedicated to training, because he simply wants to repay his mistakes. I don't know, I kind of like Robbie. He's pretty cool. But if we go up here, this is pretty funny. There's like a little deck chair just at the very top of this giant... Oh, wait a second. Was that... Oh, there's a Korok. You stealing my deck chair from me, Korok? I was gonna sit there. But oh well. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Next time, we'll put some clothes on, and then we will go and get the blue flame from over there. See you guys later. Bye.